What's up guys, it's Herb Time, and in this video I'm going to be trying 3 different methods of making terrarium backgrounds that of course you can try yourself at home. Whether you've never done a terrarium background before or you've done 10 million of them, I hope this video helps you, inspires you, gives you some insight in some way. I'm in the new Herb Time HQ facility, of course. This is where it's all going down. This is where the YouTube revival is happening on Herb Time. Thank you all for the kind comments and support in the last video, and of course I have to thank ZoomEd for their support. They've sent me these enclosures, but of course before that they've been supporting me for a long time. Great company, products I really like and believe in, of course. I mean, I wouldn't have these if I didn't like them, and the people there are just as amazing, if not more. Up here is the anole room. Of course we have ZoomEds, we got to work on these. That's what we're working on today. These are the micro geckos, and downstairs is the cold room. I'm going to do a facility tour, of course. Everyone wants a collection tour, but before that video happens, I want to make these enclosures pretty, because so much easier to appreciate an animal in all its beauty when it's in a beautiful environment. And of course, this is temporary, and I'm filming the process of this happening, so I'm going to do this as best as I can, and you're going to come along with me. We're going to get into building some terrarium backgrounds. The first method, this is a ZoomEd cork tile background. They didn't sponsor this. They didn't pay for this. I got this with my own money because this is a product I believe in, and it's really easy, plug and play almost. This is a good one. One I've only tried recently. Oh great, the sun. Gorilla Glue. I used it once before. I'm making this video and it worked out well. Hopefully it works out for this video. Otherwise, you'll know not to use it. Next is tried and true. Great Stuff foam, silicone. Of course, I got the sun shining in, but hopefully you can see. I'll talk more about each of these. This is the easiest. This is the second easiest. This is the third easiest, so the hardest out of the 3, but it's just time consuming. This is definitely more artistic and more creative. Let's get into it. This ZoomEd cork bark background is the first product we're going to use. It's an amazing product. It's so naturalistic looking. It's so easy to install. We'll get into that. But plants, epiphytic plants, vining plants grow really well into this. The animals can use it. It's easy to climb. You can literally stick this in like that. Obviously, you wouldn't have to have the tank sideways and install it like that, and it would be good to go. But one thing is, I've noticed after using these for 3 or 4 years, once these start getting humid, after a couple years, they will warp a little, and then animals can go behind them. Of course, and if an animal can climb up this, it can climb back up this, but it's a pain. You want to keep the background just a background, not a hide. Grab some silicone and a caulking gun, and we're just going to silicone it to the back. This is literally a 2-minute process max. That's why this background is so amazing. Like I said, if this is your first time doing a background, this is definitely the easiest. We're going to put silicone on the edges, roughly, maybe like 1 inch away, and then we'll just put enough in the middle so that there's thick enough so it'll catch the background when you place it down. There we go. In goes the background. I think other companies do make these, but this is just a good one because they make it ready for the size of enclosure. I need to weigh down this background because it's popping up a little. You could use a brick, you can use a rock. I have a bunch of cold packs I'm going to use. This will weight it down so the silicone adheres to the background and the glass, and we'll check back in on it tomorrow. Let's continue with the other enclosures. This next enclosure is going to be the experiment, Gorilla Glue. I did this one time before this, and it worked out pretty well. But we're going to see how well it works this time. For my last one, I used an entire 8-ounce bottle. And I'm just going to do that again because it created the texture I liked. And I don't want to totally experiment on this one. I know it worked last time, so let's just do it again for this video. Unlike silicone, doesn't smell awful, smells like glue. Don't huff it. I just did, but, you know. We're making the terrarium. I'm going to spread it out. I have a little brush to spread it out with. We used up the bottle, and now we're just gonna blend it around with this. Make sure we get everywhere. You can put really anything on the background you like. It can be sand, it can be decomposed granite, Reptile. Now with some gloves, I'm going to pat all the substrate down into the Gorilla Glue. And there's some rocks in this decomposed granite, which might actually look really good. We're gonna let this sit overnight, but while that happens, let's get started on the third type of background, the spray foam. Great stuff, spray foam you can get just about anywhere. A lot of people like to put silicone down first because they think it sticks better. I've used this just straight up on the glass, no problem. Never had a background fall off. But for the naysayers that are gonna complain, we'll throw down some silicone first. That's all there. Silicone is down. Like I said, that's not a totally necessary part, but it's worth noting. You can do it, and it might be recommended. Not by me, but by some, so there you go. Cork bark, branches, this is when you want to do it. So let's just go ahead and put some cork bark so you guys can get an idea. So now that that cork's in there, I'm gonna shake this up. And this stuff, you do not want to get on your clothes, on your hands, anything. Not like it's gonna hurt you, but it does not come off. Clothes are destroyed when this touches them. So, all you do, if I wanted to be more careful, I could, but if you have cork bark or anything, you want to get underneath it. You want to cover all the glass. And of course you can control how much is coming out with how much pressure. That's all you can do today. Now this is the most time-consuming process, of course, out of the three. So this is going to have to dry, and we have to carve it and do the silicone another day. We're going to come back tomorrow. You won't have to wait. You'll see how the other backgrounds are doing, and then we'll get to this after those. It's been over 24 hours, and here we are with our first background, the cork tile background. Of course, this is just a naturally beautiful background that is, like I said, plug and play. You can see our silicone worked really well. This is a really cool background just because epiphytic plants and vining plants, stuff like that, mosses, will grow really, really well on this. This is definitely the easiest, really good looking, really effective, but it wouldn't be herb time if we didn't make our own backgrounds. So of course for these, I'm gonna be making a lot of the backgrounds, and if I really have to, I'll go to some of these. On to the next, Gorilla Glue. Here is our Gorilla Glue background we did together. Now, honestly, it didn't turn out as good as the one I made first. I'm not sure why. And I'll show you guys right now what the first one looked like. You can kind of see it expanded a little. It had a different texture. It just looks different. It didn't expand like I thought it would. I mean, it expanded a little, but I don't know. The first one I only used Reptile, and I think that made a big difference. But who knows? It still looks really good. It's still super customizable. 24 hours dry and it's ready to go. Now, if they all turn out like this, like if the next few turn out like this, I don't know if I'm gonna do this again. The first one was super awesome, and this one isn't as exciting to me. I don't want to experiment with every single one and everyone turn out not how I like. So, not to say this didn't turn out good. Honestly, I like my tank so planted that you don't really even see the background. Like the one that the background turned out awesome on, you can't even see it. So this would be the same, you won't even see it. A cheaper option like this might be better than the cork tiles, because I think those cork tiles are like 30, 40 bucks. When you multiply it by 50 and then another 50, it adds up really, really quick. Let's go to the last, the foam and soon to be silicone. You're gonna see that there's still a lot more work to be done, and we're gonna do it in this video. As you can see here, the foam expanded and It's not even close to done compared to those two. Those two are really easy. I mean, the cork is plug and play. The Gorilla Glue is also just do it and wait 24 hours. This is a major process because you got to wait at least 24 hours for this foam to dry. You got to carve it out. We're going to do the silicone and wait another 24 hours. So this is minimum like a 2-3 day process. I'm going to speed through it just because I know there's lots of other videos on how to do this. And this is just kind of a video giving you options. And then if you want more information or a more in-depth video on how to do this type of background, of course, let me know. I'm happy to do it because I'm going to be doing it anyway. And I'm happy to elaborate on how it's done. I'm going to use my hands and a knife just because it's easiest for me. And then what I do is I just throw all the foam that I'm not using in the bottom, and you can shop vac it or you can pick it up after. The main reason you're carving this is not only to give it a texture or a shape you want, but also silicone does not stick very well to the smooth surface. So once you get a little deeper in, you get to a part of the foam that is really porous, has a different surface, and the silicone really sticks well to that. Those other two processes, the cork tile takes 2 minutes and the Gorilla Glue takes 5. This is going to be a couple hour process once you add it all up. I'll probably just do this off camera because it's boring. You can, of course, get creative, carve it how you like it, make holes in these for pots. I don't really recommend that, but you can. We'll come back when this is all carved out. Now it's time for silicone. When you do it, you want to make sure you use 100% silicone and silicone number 1. That's going to be the one without any mold inhibitors, any of the extra chemicals that are unhealthy for your reptiles. Super easy, and I learned this the hard way after many years. That's for clipping that, and then you just poke it. And I want to get it out really quickly, so I poke it everywhere a bunch. I'm using black just because it's so much easier to cover everything with. If you miss a spot, it's less noticeable if it was clear. And, so then you just want to spread it out all over, completely cover everything, because what you're going to do with this is then cover the silicone with dirt. Okay, even that black don't look too bad. Dirt, which I'm going to use, you can use sand, dirt, whatever, to stick to this. And I put new gloves on. Now this background is basically done. All we have to wait is like 24 hours, maybe more, for it to completely dry, and it's ready for animals. This is, of course, the most labor-intensive, time-consuming, and probably most expensive background you can make, but of course, it's the most creative, and possibilities are endless. I've done rocks in these backgrounds, which is a little crazy. I've made waterfalls. You can obviously do so many more things with this, and I know there's lots of other videos on all the options you can do, and I'm gonna make more videos on what I do. The Gorilla Glue, of course, is a really cool option too. Little less predictable, little less customizable, but it's the cheapest, and it's a great way to make a background really quick. The cork tile is plug and play, almost instant, and works well in a lot of different scenarios. This is all about trying new things and experimenting, and that's exactly what we did in this video. Thank you guys for watching. Your support means a lot, so any comments you have, any suggestions you have, I really appreciate it all. It's always herp time. I'll see you guys in the next one.